Humanity operates at a deafening volume. We pack our days with frantic movement, rushing in competing directions, consumed by a constant pursuit of immediate satisfaction. But when heaven finally moved to intervene, it bypassed the world's loud radar entirely. It slipped quietly into the chaos, arriving unannounced and unnoticed by the systems of earthly power. The population anticipated an aggressive rescue, expecting an armed conqueror to violently overthrow their political oppressors. Instead, they received a quiet carpenter from Nazareth, who arrived without a single soldier. The rescue we require rarely matches the rescue we request. To save a broken world, this arrival had to contradict every human expectation of power. The crowd's understanding of authority followed a strict hierarchy, pushing upward toward a peak of military conquest. Christ violently inverted that structure. His authority flowed downward. The leader became the servant, placing himself at the foundational point to bear the weight. The crowd's loyalty was too fragile to survive that inversion, depending entirely on immediate, visible victories. Once the shouting stopped and the quiet reality set in, those flickering hearts turned away. They misunderstood the mission. A traditional king could defeat an external army, but the true threat to humanity was terminal, internal decay. To cure a systemic failure of the human soul, a different king had to step forward. In the quiet of a garden, geographically and emotionally isolated from the city, the inner circle fractured. With the arrival of Judas, betrayal transitioned from a distant threat to an immediate reality. Even with the means to easily escape, he deliberately stepped into the shadow of the coming suffering. He chose obedience over self-preservation. The resulting trial was an exercise in manufactured outrage. The mob and the religious leaders threw a chaotic volume of false accusations at him, desperate to force a reaction. He met that intense pressure with strategic silence. Truth does not need to shout over the noise of a mob, nor does it owe a defense to those committed to misunderstanding it. By refusing to retaliate, he proved a vital principle. Omnipotence is demonstrated through the disciplined restraint of enduring opposition, rather than simply crushing it. The ascent to the execution site was physically and metaphysically grueling. Every single step taken, with torn muscle and failing breath, was a deliberate and calculated act of will. He carried literal timber, but the real burden was the abstract mass of human failure, compressing into a single dense block. As the weight presses downward, that moral debt transferred directly onto him, a single innocent focal point, absorbing the crushing force. That physical agony was necessary. On that day, love moved from the realm of spoken theory to the realm of undeniable proof. The final mechanism of this sacrifice required his death. The light faded. Heaven went completely silent.
Faster, more urgent tone. You do not have the luxury of remaining a passive observer. When confronted with the evidence of an empty tomb, neutrality is no longer a viable option. If the grave is empty, the claims of the occupant carry a weight that cannot be ignored. Do not stay silent. Vocal acknowledgement of this truth is the only rational conclusion to the evidence. Do not stay unchanged. A truth that conquers death demands an internal transformation to match the scale of the rescue. Surrender your current state. Do not stay silent. Do not stay unchanged. He is risen.